Yes. Good evening and a warm welcome to everyone present in this virtual session. With the blessings of His Holiness, Sri Jagadguru, Shivaratri Deshikendra Mahaswamiji, I, Mrs. Geeta Srinivas, welcome you to this session. I would like to welcome Mr. Jitendra Bhandari, sir, the guest lecturer for the day, who is with us to enlighten us with his speech. I would also like to wish and welcome our Principal Ma'am, Mrs. Geetika Karola, teachers, and my dear students to this virtual connect. During our session today, students will be exposed to various aspects of the world of work during their learning process. I request students to put down their questions in the chat box and it will be addressed during the session or at the end of the session. So we'll start the session. Before we start the session, we'll seek the blessings from God. And happy Guru Purnima for each and everyone present in this virtual session. I call upon Ghana to sing the prayer song. Over to Ghana.
Thank you, ma'am. First of all, I wish everyone a happy Guru Purnima. I'm Ghana from class 7th. Now I'm going to sing a devotional song. Jaya Gananayaka Sundara Sukumara Jaya Siddhi Vinayaka Jaya Gauri Kumara Jaya Gananayaka Varamukuta Raktapitambaradari Suravandita Vignesha Bhaktarodari Harana Sutaneni Sharanara Kaivari Niruta Sevi Para Bhaya Parihari Jaya Gananayaka Uragabhushana Priya Mushika Vahana Suravandita Jagavandita Uma Nandana Karuna Nidhi Bhanaka Modaka Priyane Siri Narasimhana Duta Ninage Vandani Jaya Gananayaka Sundara Sukumara Jaya Siddhi Vinayaka Jaya Gauri Kumara Jaya Gananayaka. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Ghana. It was a very pleasant song.
Nice voice.
Now, yeah. So we will move on to Mrs. Shashikala. Over to Shashikala, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, all. Happy Guru Purnima to all. Here, I'm very pleasure to introduce the guest speaker of the day, Mr. Jitendra Bhandari. So, Mr. Jitendra Bhandari is a senior product manager in SAP and is writing the SAP Activate methodology for the integration and extensibility work stream. The integration also includes artificial intelligence with RAP, that is robotics process automation, and machine learning. Sir mentors and executes the end-to-end process by executing the various bots and writing the Activate methodology in a simple language that can be understandable by any user. He has over 20 years of management consulting experience in business development, software delivery management, business process improvement, and information technology services. During his consulting career, Sir has managed many complex ERP projects that enabled enterprise-wide business transformation initiatives starting from business case development and blueprinting to final project delivery, followed with go-live support. He has worked with many global clients with over 25 plus years of software design and product development and implementation experience. He has a deep understanding of range of issues involved in implementing ERP logistics models, and supply chain management solutions. Sir has played lead roles in project design, redesigning the business process, and development of complex business processes related to over-to-cash delivery and shipment of products. Sir has received IBM's Service Excellence Award twice within the last 4 years. Sir has managed projects that require fully integrated sales and distribution, material management, inventory management, finance, and project system, and has experience designing various complex development objects, including interfaces to and from ERP. He has helped various industries in implementing SAP are media, paper, automotive, electronic equipment, etc. And he has led teams successfully of over 15 consultants on-site and off-site through all the project life cycle space. He has also been awarded by IMB twice. So very happy to have you here, sir. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation to address our children. So welcome, once again, welcome to the session, sir. And I'll ask you to just take over the session, sir. You can start.
Thank you very much, Sasikalaji. Nice introductions. Pretty nice prepared.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for inviting me. And I will try to embrace all the kids here, and they are free to ask any question or put your question on the chat, and I can easily answer it, So I just prepare one PowerPoint presentation for this session, which is not very attractive, but just a little bit I just want to share with the team here. Okay. So let me share my screen, and let me know once you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Hello? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is visible. We can
Okay,
see,
good.
sir.
Okay. So first of all, what I'm going to start this by telling about myself first, and how did I develop this career, and what I was thinking when I was the young student of same age group, like class 8 to class 12. Okay. So after finishing class 12, I did my BSc in physics, mathematics, and statistics, and there was no clue what to do next, because I tried the engineering. I was not as successful in finishing the exams, or not as successful in passing the entrance exam. That does not mean that I'm not going to be successful in my career. Okay. So at that time, I'm talking about 1984. At that time, the computer was just starting in India. And somehow somebody has told me that, okay, computer is a good thing to learn about. And I said, okay, what is computer? I was not even knowing how the computer is built out and how is the data being fed in the computer. Okay. So somehow I have taken the internship in HSR, which is like not from the monetary point of view, but just to understand how the computer works. Okay. And at that time, it was the first data entry by using the punch card. So there's a deck of card entered in the machine, and whatever the alphabets you type in on your keyboard, it make a hole in the punch card. So suppose if I'm writing my name, Jitendra, Jitendra, it is like eight characters, it will create 8 punch card. And this deck of punch card is then entered in the computer, and computer read by where the hole is there in the punch card and read each alphabet one by one. That was my starting of computer. And I was told that data is fed in the computer by using either the punch card or putting the data in the floppy, and then floppy is inserted in the computers and it's read the data and then it's processed. Okay. After entering data, what next? Okay, you have to write the program. What is program? Okay. And I have keep going from the root of the computer and understanding, okay, there's different programming languages, basic COBOL at that time. Now there are many others like Java or any other ABAP4 and Fortran and many new programming languages already in place right now. So I said, okay, so after that time, I have to learn the programming. So I have moved ahead in programming this one. So apart from the BSc, my passion was going after the computer learning. But behind the scene, I was keeping my mind, okay, what is my backup plan? If my passion is not going to become my profession, how can I acquire a degree? And after doing BSc, then my elder brother, who was the chartered accountant at that time, he said, why don't you join the commerce? What is commerce? I will teach you about debit and credits. What is debit and credits? So I have no clue about the commerce at that time. So he said, okay, let's start from class 8th book. So I have started the commerce after passing the BSc, I have started my commerce knowledge apart from the computer behind the scene, reading and going through all the commerce books from class 8th onwards till the BSc or BCom. Okay. And then he said, okay, why don't you join the professional ICWA, which is Institute of Cost and Works Accountancy. Okay. So I have joined that course, and which is the commerce related course. And then I have started preparing for that exams also. In the meantime, my passion about the computer also going parallelly. Okay. And then after learning a little bit of the basic and data entry, I said, okay, I want to see the computer and touch the computer. How can I do that? So I have moved to another computer processing company in Kolkata, and which is doing nothing. They was just printing the checklist, and I was testing the checklist with the original data. Okay. So I was, okay. So I said, okay, that's okay. So the computer programming, print the checklist. What next? Okay. So going into all those details, step by step, taking baby steps, and also going with my professional degree along with that, I said, okay, let's see how can I link my professional degree with my passion of learning computers. Okay. So after I have completed my ICWA, which took me like 3 to 4 years, and along with that, I was also growing towards the computers learning also. Okay. And at this point of time, what happened, I say, okay, now I have the professional degree of ICWA. I know a little bit of computers. Okay, now what is the next in the computer? How does the computer work? And how does we make the computer work? Okay. Then I have taken the job in famous fan industry as an IT manager. Okay. With a little bit of knowledge of computer and a good professional degree of ICWA.
My thought is that in the end, because none of them know that this I'm adding, I'll just say we will all now join our hands and dedicate ourselves to our gurus on this Purnima day, and then you will play the thing. That's it. But now editing and all, I don't get you.
Can you repeat it?
Choose any other appropriate. I haven't seen the whole thing.
Hello. Gita, is it you saying something?
Actually, sir,
sorry, there was an error. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. No problem. Let me share back. So after finishing all those, I was working, I was the IT manager for a fan industry in Kolkata. And my job was, they were having like 18 branches throughout the country. And they have gave me a task of implementing a full integrated system. When I say the integrated system, we have the sales, inventory, and finance linked to each other. So just for the kids, let me tell you what is the inventory mean, what is the sales mean, and all those stuff, right? Which are little professional words, but let me tell you by giving you an example. I'm pretty sure you must have entered an order in the Amazon, right? You must be buying either the books or any toy on Amazon.com, right? So what happened in the Amazon, when you place the order, it says, okay, this particular toy which you are buying right now, it's going to be shipped to you by within 4 days or 5 days, okay? How does this all works behind the scene? So behind the scene, what's happening is that the computer finds out, okay, this product is sold, which you are the purchaser, and this purchase, and you already paid the money. So this particular toy is sold. Now, so sales happen at that time. And now after the sales happen, it goes to the behind the scene and see whether it's in the stock or not. So that's the inventory. So it goes and find whether it's available in the inventory or not, and which tells the system, yes, I have this product ready to be shipped. Then somebody picked that product from the warehouse, and then they just pack it and give it to the carrier, either DHL or anybody who comes to your house to deliver that product, right? So that's a logistic, which is like, and now once this is packed from the warehouse, give it to carrier, carrier has the label printed on the top of the packaging, which tells that this should be shipped to this particular address. And the delivery boy comes to you and deliver the product. So that's all the different aspect of a business scenario. When you place the order, sales happen, okay? When the sales happen, you transfer your money from your bank account or credit card to the Amazon, which is the finance transaction, right? Then once that transaction is completed, Amazon get paid, it check the inventory, which is the inventory management, which tells you, okay, I have this stock or this product in the stock, and let's just go ahead and ship it. So in that case, for the shipping, what happened? Somebody goes to the warehouse, picks it up. So that's the warehouse is also linked, inventory, warehouse. And then once it is picked it up, it sends to the transporter. It can be anybody, okay? And then the transportation happen, and then it's become the delivery. So that is all the circle of a business transaction, okay? So coming back to the fan industry where I was become the IT manager, at that time, I was no clue about all those full scenarios, but I was given the in charge to hire the consultant who will create the software for us. And I have successfully created the full integrated software from selling the fan, getting the money from the dealers, giving the credit notes, inventory, and packing and transportation, all the stuff. It took me like 3 years to implement on all the 18 branches of that fan industry in India. But finally, I got into my passion and also my professional degree in play right now. So now I have the cost and work accountancy degree, as well as I have a good background of computer implementation of full business processes. Okay. So after finishing that, then I moved to my another company as a commercial manager, which is like factory, not the office environment, the factory environment where the actual pharma is being prepared in the production order. So that's also bring another business processes into my cap, and it was pretty nice experience. Yeah. So now current status is that I am working in the SAP. Okay. So after finishing all those stuff, I have joined the SAP application. What is SAP? Okay. So SAP is a software, ERP software, which integrate between all the business processes which I just explained you, right? That is like starting from quotation, sales order, delivery, finance, production orders, all those, how, when you're making a product, what are the recipes you have to use to prepare that product? What are raw materials added to prepare these products? It's the production orders, and then once the product is ready, we move to the inventory and all the stuff. So these are all the business processes which I have developed a lot with many companies, global implementation of SAP, and SAP are fully integrated from each business scenarios and each business unit of a company. Okay. And after, so with the working with the SAP application, I have joined the IBM, but IBM I have joined and I have implemented many 11 years, many global companies I implemented the SAP, because each business process is different for each company. Okay. And currently I am working in the artificial intelligence. Okay. Kids must be aware, must be curious to know what is artificial intelligence, right? So there are different parts of the artificial intelligence. One is the robotics, another is the machine learning, another is the situation handling. And I'm going to explain you about this also. And I saw one of the students has asked the question about the data analyst also. What is the scope of data analyst or artificial intelligence? So I am going to give you a little bit brief idea about the artificial intelligence and what I am working right now, and how you as a student can learn all about artificial intelligence. Online, there are lots of good courses, and I'm going to show you some of the links of those particular courses also. Okay. So apart from my work experience and working ethics and all those, what do I do more? Okay. So I'm pretty sure you must be knowing about the tennis. So I'm very fond of having the parties, meet the friends and families. I go for the hiking once in the 15 days, which is like 2 weeks back. I have gone for like 14 miles biking and hiking trail. I organize lots of community events like picnics or motivation speaking events, or just have a get together with the friends and families. Okay. I also do my kitchen gardening in the background, which is, you can see the cabbage and tomatoes and cucumbers, bitter melons. Those are right now coming in my backyard. And another thing which I do is that I am the whole and soul of my house, because I don't take any external services like plumbing or anything. I just do it by myself. And I learn by doing everything by myself, by looking the videos on the YouTube. If anything is broken, I'll just go and fix it by myself. If not, I'll open the YouTube, learn it, do it. Okay. So that's all about myself. And before I go further, any student has any question about what I said or any curious question, please feel free to ask or put in the chat. Okay, looks like everybody are quiet right now. So now let me show you about the SAP and what is the IT is all about. So SAP is the Enterprise Resource Planning, which is the ERP. And this is mostly used software in the market and contains hundreds of fully integrated modules. What is the integrated modules? As I was just mentioning you in the example of the Amazon, you place the order, okay, that's a sales. You give the money, that's the finance. So you are not giving the money without receiving anything back from the Amazon, right? You are receiving that toy from the Amazon for which you are paying. So sales is integrated with the financial, right? And as soon as you paid the money, the system goes and check the inventory. So that's how the sales is also linked, integrated with the inventory, which tells you, yes, I have the product with me. Okay. And then once product is confirmed, then you go and pick it from the warehouse. So the inventory is now integrated with the warehouse, which tells you, yes, this particular product is situated at aisle number 6, row number 2, bin number 7, right? And that's where the warehouse is made, so that each and every product where it is situated, the warehouse man or the robots can go and pick it up and pack it out. Okay. So that's mean the integration of a module, how this integration works. Okay. And SAP collect and process data from all the functions in business on one platform. What does this mean? You place the order of a toy. That's a one transaction, right? That transaction, then it goes to the inventory with the same toy name. Do we have this particular toy available in the inventory? Okay. So these are all the different business processes which are being used and collected in the SAP. Yeah. So it's only one database which is collect the data, but is distributed to all the different aspect of the business process, which is the sales, finance, everything. Okay. So let me tell you a little bit about artificial intelligence. Okay. So what is artificial intelligence? So think about, I don't know whether you have heard about robotics or not, where the robots comes and do the work. Like if you have seen any auto industry, right? Assembling the auto parts or assembling the full auto one car, it will take time for manual people to finish that. Okay. So what I will show you one video about how many robots does it take to run a grocery store. Okay. And this particular is a live video in the London. So let me just play that video and see whether you can see that video. Okay.
Folks have ordered their groceries online, and instead of people walking up and down the aisles of a traditional grocery store to pick up items, these little devices move more than 1 million items every day between them. Instead of trying to build machines that fit into a world designed for humans, this entire facility, the size of 7 football fields, is custom built to make this as efficient as possible. I cannot get across on camera just how incredibly large this whole place is. The top speed of those boxes is about 14 kilometers an hour, and they pass within 5 millimeters of each other when they move. So, how many robots are there in the hive? Well, that depends on how you count them.
What you're looking at behind me is the hive. We've got the grid, which is the metal structure. It's filled with products. So that product is housed within what we call totes, or these open boxes that you can see at the top of the grid. We have around 2,300 bots, and they move the stock around the warehouse so that we can pair it up with customer orders to be delivered. The bots will move in the X and Y direction. They can also move in the Z direction. So we have a cable hoist system that means that they can lower down a gripper assembly and grab onto the stock that we have in the grid. In some areas, we have as deep as 21 totes all in a line. We have sensors underneath the bot that mean that every time it passes over one of the squares on the grid, it has a laser underneath it that can tell when it moves over that cell. So it will say, I've passed a cell, I've passed a cell, I've passed a cell. We have around 58,000 different types of individual products within the grid. We'll use the huge amounts of data that we gather to understand what customers are most likely to order and place them in the easiest to reach locations for bots. All of that combined means that we can have stock into the warehouse and out again from our suppliers into a delivery van in just 5 hours.
The robots deliver their crates over to the packing area. Some of that packing is done by humans, but there are mechanical arms as well. One of the big problems they've got to solve is that grocery packaging is designed for people, and the interactions between all the objects they deal with can be complicated.
Currently we're standing underneath the grid structure that we saw earlier. The robots that we saw are actually dropping off products to the station. Once they're dropped off, they become in control of the robot, and the robot decides how to pick them before the grid robot picks up the tote and takes it away again. There's 2 3D cameras above the totes, so it takes an image of the storage box before it picks from it, decides on the best grasp point, confirm that the product is correct, and then place it into a customer shopping. And it's doing all of that on live customer orders. We make sure that we don't mix something that was heavy with something that's soft. There are things that the robot can't pack, things such as very, very heavy, very large, or very fragile items, but there's a lot of range in between that.
It's fairly safe to call each individual packing arm a robot. Each one has a separate controller, and it has to make a lot of decisions in real time using cameras and sensors on each individual arm. But here in the hive, it's not quite as simple.
Controlling all of this is what we refer to as the hive mind. So this artificial intelligence system that controls everything. Once the stock comes in, from that exact point that it enters the system, the hive mind will track its every single movement. The hive mind will tell the bots exactly where they need to stop, but it is the bot's control system that allows it to follow a movement profile and stop exactly as the hive mind expects it to. There's just a 5 millimeter gap between bots, so that's both as they pass each other and if they stop next to a bot as well. This bot with the orange light may have experienced something within its sensors and all of those readings it's taking, that when it feeds that back to the hive mind, it's not quite what the hive mind was expecting, so it just brings it to a safe stop for investigation. We do have a number of grid operators that sit at the edge of the grid, and they're able to use our CCTV system that we have above the grid to look at exactly what's going on with that bot, and they can try and fix that remotely and send commands to the bot wirelessly.
The boundary between individual and group is a little blurry. Is a termite colony and a collection of individuals working together, or one big superorganism? Is the microbiome in your gut part of you? Because in the last couple of decades, scientists have started to work out that the bacteria in your digestive system produce and consume neurotransmitters that affect how you think. But most people wouldn't consider their gut bacteria to be part of them.
So this was one example of the robots. How robots are helping in the grocery and how they are packing for each customer's bags, starting from picking out by using the robotics. It's just picking out the stuffs underneath the robots, bring it to the packing area and putting into the customer's baggage. Yeah. So this is one of the examples of robots. Another example I gave was the automobiles industry, right? So there are lots of robots are coming into play, and that's a good area to explore if any of the students are interested in robotics. Okay. Then the second part of the artificial intelligence is the machine learning. What is machine learning? think about you are watching the Netflix, any of your favorite action movie. Okay. Depending upon what you have watched in the past, the Netflix have a machine learning app behind the scene and will monitor what you are watching, how many action movie you have watched, how many comedy movie you have watched. And depending upon, as soon as you finish one action movie, the Netflix is going to tell you, oh, here's another action movie because you watched this particular movie last time. How is this Netflix is working on this? So think about when you have joined the Netflix and this is the first time you are joined in the Netflix and you have not watched any movie. So at that time, machine learning for you as a user is 0. Okay. Now you have watched first movie, say any action movie. So just collect your data as per your user profile and say, okay, you have watched this movie name. This is the characteristics of this movie. It's an action movie or say who's your hero or heroine you watch. So next time you say, okay, show me all the movies I have watched with, say, Aishwarya Rai, for example. The machine learning will go and find out all the movies which you have watched and show you about all this stuff. That's one example. Another example is the Amazon home app, which is Alexa, right? So if I say, Alexa, play songs by Kishore Kumar, okay? So what will happen? The Alexa will go. Sorry, my Alexa is sitting here, that's right. Let me disconnect. So Alexa will go and find the songs of Kishore Kumar and start playing it, okay? So next time when you say, okay, Alexa, play Kishore Kumar, or whenever we heard the name Kishore Kumar, it will play all the songs you heard or available on their server as a Kishore Kumar and will start playing it. Okay. Same thing applies for the Google Home also, right? So that's another part of the artificial intelligence. Then another part of artificial intelligence is the predictive analytics. What does this mean? So you have used the credit card, for example, you or your parents must have used the credit card somewhere. And after like 2 hours later, they took the flight and they have gone in the next city and they are using the same credit card. So it will ask you the question, okay, are you the right person who is using this credit card or not, right? So this is the example where just to avoid any fraudulent activity on your card, the system will track where this card was used last time. Is it not that somebody has stole the credit card numbers and using online, okay? And at that point of time, what will happen? They will block the credit card and that transaction will not fall through, okay? And that's another example of the predictive analytics. Okay? There are many parts of artificial intelligence, like situation handling is another one, where depending upon a situation, you give the instruction to computer, take the necessary action, okay? And that's, for example, if you have to pay to your vendor and you say, okay, if you pay the money within like 30 days, I will give you 5% of discount, okay? So just to get the 5%, we'll try to pay the money beforehand, before 30 days. So that's a situation. So whenever this type of situation happens, you are setting the computer to take the decision on your behalf. No one is doing it manually. You just put the logic in the computer, which says, okay, this situation happened, do this one. Okay? So this is some of the artificial intelligence things which is very upcoming things in the IT. And I will really encourage the students to look into those if you want your career to take it into IT. Okay? And there are lots of stuffs new coming up, like the space technology, which is going forward right now. So if you have heard about the blue space, there was 2 people who have just gone to the space right now, right? And that's another industry which is booming right now. Okay. Any question from anybody about the artificial intelligence? Okay. Going a little more forward after artificial intelligence, what are the different things available in the online learning? Okay. You must have seen all this stuff here also, but still I will just reiterate. In whatever direction you go, okay, there are lots of Microsoft applications which you will be using it or you must be using right now. Some of them are the PowerPoints. You should know how to create the PowerPoints. There are lots of good tutorials on the YouTube which tells you how to create the good PowerPoint presentation. Microsoft Excel is a very good tool which is used by the finance people, and lots of people are using those. So learn all these Microsoft basic applications. Microsoft Doc is another one which is quietly used in the business. Even if you're doing your own business, you should learn all those applications, and there are lots of applications, tools available in the YouTube. Go ahead and look into that. Okay. Then there's a National Library of the Books. You must be aware about those. This is the link I'm just posting here, which you can take it, and there are like thousands of books available in this library. And some of are too good as per your interest. Where do you want to drive your career into? Okay. For anyone who's interested in the online, there's a Coursera.com, which is another. I'm using this Coursera for my learning the artificial intelligence also. So nowadays, you don't need to go to the college or something to learn. There are lots of online information available. Just go after your passion and make sure that your professional career go with your passion also. You should not do say, okay, which job is going to give you the money? No, don't go with the money. Go with your passion and see how can you create your own interests. Okay. So even if you are good in the electronics and you want to go to electronics, okay, there are lots of electronic items available in the house. Okay. Lots of them broke also. Okay. So when any electronic item is broken, just open it up. See how this electronic item is made of. Okay. Use the screwdriver or use your skills to take it out and see how this is manufactured. Go to YouTube and find out how can I repair it if it's broke before taking it to the shop or repair shop. No? So just do some thorough thinking and just do whatever you think is the following your passion. Just go ahead with that. There's a very good Khan Academy. You must have heard about that. My kids also use those Khan Academy a lot when they were of your age. Yeah. And they start from class 1 or KG till class 12. Lots of good mathematics, lots of good science tutorials are there. Okay. For anything, whatever you want to see the repair, YouTube is a very good area where you can see all the fixing of your problems, electronic problems, or auto repairs. I won't suggest you to do the auto repair by yourself because it needs the supervision from the adults. Okay? So, but you can still watch the automatic mechanic, how they are repairing your automobile. Okay? Then some of the tips which I will still give to the students on the occasion of this today, Guru Purnima, respect your teachers because whatever they are giving you, they are giving from your heart. Okay? And they are the people who are giving you the food, the roots of your building your career, right? Never forget them. I'm still in touch with my high school teachers, and they are my good friends. I always wish them during the New Year, Diwali, or Guru Purnima. Okay, and never go after the money. If your passion is there, the money will come to you. And I don't know whether you have watched the 3 Idiots movie also. That's given lots of knowledge to kids. Okay, he was having the passion about building something, right? So that's a good movie to watch if you have not watched it. Okay, and if you want to engineer, just see whatever mechanical things in the house, try to open it out, post-mortem them, as I was just telling you. Okay, and also value the money, earning money. Don't spend your father's money. Okay, man's father's money, who cares? No. How to earn money? Take the internship in the summer, right? So when you're taking the internship, make sure what you want to learn. Okay, don't think 9 to 5 work I'll do and come back. No, it can be morning 8 o'clock till evening 8 o'clock. But after coming home, just see, okay, what you have learned today. Did I am going towards my passion or not? No. Yes, if I learn anything, okay, how can I enhance my learning? Okay. And as I've just mentioned about the Excel PPT doc and the project, okay, Microsoft project, which tells you about, that's another software which can be used in the businesses, but for the student, use the Excel PPT and the docs. Those are the 3 applications which you will need anywhere, whatever the profession you are going to do. Take it, Yeah, and try to be independent. Okay, don't say, okay, I should be dependent on this person because he has not turned up, so I have not completed my work. No, complete your work without depending anybody. Okay, that's all my slides is all about. Okay, I will stop sharing right now, and I will ask anybody who have any questions.
First of all, namaskara on behalf of JSS Public School HSR. We are very glad that you have taken out time and shared your thoughts. But right now is the question answer session. I was wondering, how would you compare education system of schooling years in the US as compared with present times in India? Because I know that your children were educated in India, in fact, in Bengaluru, and there are positives and strengths in the US system of education. So what is your take on that?
See, India has a very nice education system, and that is the reason I send my kids, and they did the class 8 to class 12 in Bengaluru. Very nice hospitality, very nice teacher. Respect between teacher and students is very good in India. Okay? And the mathematics was the main key for any person to go build up your career. Okay? And that's a very good mathematics is being taught in India. Okay? That does not mean the US don't have it. US have a different type of curriculum. Okay? And India has a different type of curriculum. Okay. I saw one question from somebody.
Thank you.
Can you please give me the tips of being independent? So this question from the Kuber. So Kuber, for the independent, what I mean to say is that, okay, I know I'll just compare one scenario between the US and India. In the US, we don't get any housemaid or any additional help, okay, for driving and all those stuff, okay? So even if you have to fix anything in the house, there's 2 alternatives. Either call the professional who will come and fix it, or you do it by yourself, okay? The labor cost is too high here. So if you call the professional, you have to spend the money, okay? But if you do it by yourself, you get all the raw materials, any fixing things in the US go to the market, buy a repair part and do it by yourself. Okay. In India, we are dependent. We get the help from home aid. We get the drivers and everything, right? So being independent, see what is your necessity in the day-to-day life. Okay. I know you cannot be independent in the one day, but you say, okay, this part is currently done by X person. Can we move it? Can I do it by myself? Okay. Same thing. Take it out one by one step out from your, which you are dependent on somebody, you know. Does it solve your question, Kuber? Even Jeevan also asked the same question. So Tanisha is asking, sir, I wanted to suggestion, will taking up the courses on AI offer a part of the CBSE curriculum be helpful for the future? Yes, Tanisha, anything starting with the artificial intelligence. And I know Geetika madam was telling me that they have already introduced the artificial intelligence in your curriculum, which is pretty good. I won't suggest you to go to AI. First, see the currently AI courses, what are available with you. Look into the YouTube, see the examples where this can be used, okay? And it has a wide scope in the future also, AI. And I will really encourage the kids to go to this line also, which is going to be future of any industry, whether it's a health industry, whether it's the auto industry, whether it's a IT, or anywhere this AI will be coming up pretty soon in next 5 to 10 years. Where can we get internship information? That's a good question. Okay. I have seen in India also, US, it's happening whenever you are in the high school or in the college, the employers comes to your colleges and they interview yourself. Okay. They take the internship people from the colleges, recruit them, give them a training for a year. And then once they're absorbed, yes, it's a good candidate to turn them into employees. Okay. And there are lots of website of each employer. Like if you go to Amazon.com or Google.com or whichever industry you want to go and check their career sites. There will be an option, there will be a available option for the internship, which you can go ahead and apply for the internship. Okay. And you have to market yourself. No one is going to market you. Okay. And to market yourself, you have to have some of the niche skills in your pocket, right? Otherwise, you say, okay, initially when I'm going as a new intern, you are going there, you don't have any skills. But if you show them, okay, in this summer, I have tried to learn this stuff. I have shown them, I have seen the mechanical part of this particular iPhone, for example. Don't break the iPhone, but I'm just giving an example, okay? Smartphone. And it has got these chips. And then you go and Google and find out in the YouTube, what is this chip is used for, right? And you can explain that this chip I think is used for this one, okay? So the interviewer will see, okay, this guy knows about the chips. These guys know how to open, how to resolve the problem of any mechanical device, right? So for that, you have to learn by yourself. You don't have to depend on somebody. So there are lots of YouTube videos. Even I'm also learning a lot fixing any mechanical stuff on the YouTube. So that's a good way to go. What type of internship do children need? I've explained that what type of internship children need, right? So that's all depend upon what your interests are. Okay, if you want to be gardener, not the gardener, farmer, that's another good industry going on with the hydroponic technique, which is also based on the computer, right? So in the hydroponic, what's happening is you are feeding the plant with the water nutrients, right? You are not dependent on the soil, okay? And that's also been controlled by the computers. Each and every plant has a sensor, and each sensor tells, okay, this plant need the water, okay, or this plant doesn't have these nutrients. So that's all will tell you in the computer, okay, which plant need your attention, all that stuff. Okay. How do I narrow down on one single career option when I have too many things I can do? Okay. So the question is pretty good. So you have to find out what's your passion is all about. Okay. I don't know what your passion. You can be a good fashion designer if you want to. You can be a good farmer. You can be a good IT also. You can go to the auto industry. What do you want to do in the future? Okay. Don't think, okay, what my parents are saying, I have to do it. No, sometimes parents are also human beings. They can also give some mistakes, right? So you think by yourself, what do you want to do it in the future? Okay. And it's always your decision what you want to do it. And if anybody want any help, I can give you the email address. You can send it to me, and I can, whatever help I can provide to any upcoming brain, I can help you out, you know. Dell is asking, in India, you have to choose your career.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Jitendra sir? Yeah, I
Yes,
think
ma'am.
please permit me to first respond, and
Yes,
then
please.
you can take it forward. So my dear student, India, you have to choose your career field very soon, that is after 10th. But in other countries, till the end of high school, you have equal importance to all subjects, and then later you can slowly choose. I think that's the main disadvantage in our system. We are in a hurry to decide it. So, my dear student, first and foremost, I want to tell you that CBSE has introduced many skill subjects right from class 6, including financial management, artificial intelligence, design thinking. Our first batch of class 10 is taking artificial intelligence this year. In class 11 also, we have introduced artificial intelligence. We've introduced, Jitendra talked about his interest in fitness and tennis. So yoga as a career or as a personal lifestyle, yoga has been introduced as a subject of study. Early childhood care and education has been introduced, and also designing. So these are my thoughts on, in India, what is the impetus. Very much CBSE is moving over towards offering skilled subjects, and that is what I heard Jitendra sir non-stop talking about skills. Now that is closely interested with your passion and interest. And alongside attitude and aptitude, there are two. The artificial intelligence looks very interesting. You have a positive attitude towards it, which you must have, but you have to also later on check whether you have the aptitude for that or not. So that is another area. But inherently, if you are passionate about something, curiosity is there, then you would also explore it. So right now, for the young children, it is all about choices that you make, and follow your passion and interest. If you see Jitendra sir, he has also done financial management. So any learning which is of interest will never go waste, is my thoughts. Now over to you, Jitendra sir, to give your perspective on this question.
Sure. So just to answer the Dale's question, if in case we are unsure, we usually follow the crowd rather than our interest. Okay. My suggestion is never follow the crowd. Just follow your own inspire, what you inspire about, what is your passion about, because the thing which is going to pay you in the future is your passion only. Okay. But if somebody is telling you, oh, go and become the engineer, or go and become the doctor, it will give you so much money. No. And if you don't want to, if you don't see the blood, then the medical is the surgery is not your passion, right? You will not be able to see the blood, right? So you have to follow your passion. What do you want to do in the future? Okay, and try to bend your passion into a profession. That's my suggestion. Okay. TYN22 suggests the website which was useful for today's kids. I already put in the PowerPoint some of the websites. khanacademy.com.org is one which my kids also use it. In India, you have this question for me to answer. Please, first them serve may follow. Geetika.
Yes, sir.
Can you repeat your question, please? In India, you have this question.
No, this is done. We've addressed this.
Okay, got it. Thank you, ma'am. I have a lot of career option to choose from, but I'm not sure which one to pick. So, Sejal, you have to think. Yes, nowadays there are lots of options, but don't think. You have to just think where you want to go. Take your mind to. Okay, what do you want to do? Like, I have the hobby of doing the gardening. Okay, so in my backyard, I have put my kitchen garden. Now I'm thinking of going for hydroponic. So I'm trying to start my hydroponic also. But that's not my career. That's my hobby. So you have to distinguish between your career and the hobby. Okay, so I can only answer Sejal about which one you have to do it is see your passion, where do you want to do. If you are good in cooking, you can take that also as an option also. Okay, if you're good in the tailoring or fashion designing, you can take that as a fashion. Oh, okay. And if you're good in computers, okay, computer have a vast degree of diversity. So you can choose within the computer, you can choose creating the websites or how to integrate with the people, social media. All those are computer-based stuff, right? The Facebook, WhatsApp, which you are using, right? Instagram. Those are all the IT computer related, and where they have changed the full world, right? And now every 5 years later, the new technology coming up. So you just follow your passion and see which technology is coming up, the new technology. Just go into this. The AI is another thing which is good coming up. Okay.
Jitendra, one thought, very thought-provoking responses you have given. Just want to share my thought also.
Yes,
so,
please.
Children, you have to make choices, right? Right now, you are not deciding as school-going children of 6 to 7 to 8, even 10th, 11th, 12th. You are making your choices, towards which domain you want to move forward, correct? And as you progress, you need to think about the consequences. What is it that you are looking for? What are the short-term advantages and what are the long-term advantages? Does your present decision lead towards your long-term goals also? Like sir is saying, like cookery, some people take hotel management as their line of profession. So if you are interested in cookery and you are very passionate about cooking and you go on to take hotel management, be sure that these are the outputs of taking this particular profession. You have to be very clear after doing hotel management, these are the options that you will have as careers that you have in hotel management. Then you should not be in a question mark position that, okay, I did hotel management, but this area doesn't excite me now. And that is why we are all talking about these sessions where we are creating awareness, where we are sensitizing you, making you think about your skills and competencies and see where you want to go. And definitely there has to be a plan A and plan B. What Jitendra sir said in the beginning also, you definitely need to have a plan A and a plan B in your mind. Certain hobbies can become your second professions mid-life. That option is also there. But at the moment, what Jitendra sir say, end of the day, think, did you make use of that day the way you should have as a student, as an aware student, where your skills, now skills could, see, these are all skills, music, these are your hobbies, you know, singing or playing the guitar, tabla, harmonium, these are all your skills. So are you working on any skill, first of all? First step is that, are you working towards a skill or not? And then take it forward one step at a time. Thank you for your time. Giving me this time to share my thoughts. Yes.
And also there is no need to be worried about, you can change your career after 5 years. You think that, okay, now my interest is changed. Change the career. You don't have to stick to the same thing, right? So for me, I was lucky enough that the computer, when I started, was just coming up, and I have grown to this level right now. But if the computer was not working after 5 years, okay, I would have developed my another interest and move my career from computer to another thing, like agriculture, for example, right? So you don't have to stick to, it can change. And yes, it will take some time to learn the new skills, but you have to just go with whatever your passion is telling you to go about. No?
Yeah.
Any other question? Anybody? So I will leave my email address to Geetika madam, and then she can circulate to the students if they want. And anything I can be helpful, whether in India or US, I will be happy to help you guys. Okay.
The best way to predict the future is to create it. This quote would prove right by following what Sir told just now. Thank you, sir, for taking time out from your busy schedule to give a lecture on the career opportunities to students. I would also like to thank our principal ma'am for staging this useful session. Next, not to forget my colleagues who have been putting their efforts, continued efforts in bringing up the children. Last but not the least, I thank students as well as Mr. Sumuk for helping us in technical support. Thank you, everyone, and have a great rest of the weekend.
Thank you.
So,
Have a nice day.
Once again, very formally, on behalf of our institution, JSS Mahavidyapita, with the blessings of His Holiness, Shri Shri Shivaratri Deshikendra Mahaswamiji, it was our blessed day that today we had a session on knowing your passion and exploring yourself, giving reflection on what you really want to move. And because of the virtual media, we have our parents with us who have also been a part of our audience, and now they can further guide their children in a better manner, more informed manner, and support them to move forward, upwards and forward. So Jitendra sir, as I want to, just share some thoughts. If you heard him, he kept talking about his skills that he developed. He says, do it yourself. You have the virtual world, you have the YouTube, find out, anything that you're curious about, dig into YouTube and find out more about it. He talked about passion could become a profession and should become a passion. You have to have an inherent interest in what you want to do. And definitely artificial intelligence is the way to go, whether you are going to become an engineer in this field or you are going to be the user. You have to, appreciate the power of artificial intelligence as well. So children, these are your sessions for which you need to, give a thought, work on it, and reach out. But on my personal behalf also, I thank you, Jitendra, so much for being with us. And if you heard him, he has other strengths as well. He keeps in touch with his friends, he keeps in touch with his teachers, and he gives back to the society. He's very, very fit. He plays tennis every day. 4 o'clock in the morning, he goes to play. So fitness is a very important component of work-life balance, and to keep yourself focused and take on the challenges. I'm sure Jitendra sir had many challenges in his life to move forward and to be where he is. But nothing comes easy, children. This is the time to make most of it. And how beautifully he covered about respecting your elders, respecting your teachers. That's rather essential. And we in India give a lot of impetus on respecting our elders, our gurus, everybody. So with these thoughts, I thank Mr. Jitendra Bhandari once again, my team of teaching faculty, students, and now over to Dr. Sumuk to close the session with the shloka. So let us all join our hands and dedicate ourselves to our gurus, because of which that is where we are today, and seek their blessings.